Rock said this. He's said it for a while now. He said, "It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice." Yeah. And you know, it's The Rock. It's one of the biggest celebrities in the world, and he's even moving with that attitude. Our conversation evolved into, and what I was going to say was, even during your darkest days, like, innately you're a smart human. You're not just smart because like you worked hard. Like, I believe intelligence is like a genetic trait.
Yep.
And you were even, again, at your darkest days, operating at a higher conscious level than most people, where you realize, like, I don't have to put other people down to make me feel better about myself. And then our conversation evolved into,
I asked, are mean people stupid? Was that what it was?
I was gonna say, like, the idea of talking shit, right? So being a hater, saying something mean, and then talking shit. You will never find a successful person, an elevated person, a conscious person talking shit.
No,
they don't do it. And
it's the opposite.
Yeah, facts.
They're building people up.
They don't waste time speaking negatively about other people, and we're surrounded by these people, and even like we still fall in, unfortunately, the trap of like doing it sometimes.
I did it. I personally will speak for myself and say I did it with the girl with the BJ scandal, and I think there's a lot of people watching this. By the way, I caught a little bit of heat for that, not much, but there's people that are watching this that don't know that girl had texted me after the fact and said, "Hey, listen, all this is fair play. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. You keep talking shit. Please keep doing it." Like, she's asking me. I have the text messages to prove it. But it wasn't on her to tell me that was okay. And that was me falling back and falling into something that is not me. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I think I got a little bit out of hand and I roasted a little hard, but I don't want the people watching the show to think that is indicative of the person who I am, or to think that it's okay to go and talk shit about people. It's just, it's a very juvenile, very junior varsity thing to do. It's just, it doesn't do anything for you. The biggest note that I made that a lot of people have been sticking to is there's nobody out there who's winning in any major way. Like, no, I made a tweet that said, I don't think that anyone that talks shit online gets any ass. I don't think that, like, I don't see some dude that has either a girlfriend or that gets any play. Yeah, talking shit online. But also, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's not the success metric. It was one.
My rebuttal to that would be like, and I said this when we were talking, I think it's human nature to judge or to assess and conclude. Like, when you hear people saying like, "Oh, stop judging me," like that is a term high schoolers use. Humans by nature assess and conclude, and if you want to call it judging, whatever, no, it's you see something, you take in information, and then you come to the logical conclusion of how to act or what to do next. Yep. So, although yes, I want to be as elevated as humanly possible, I also think it's unrealistic to not assess and conclude that some people are fucking morons. And if I like talk shit, which by the way I will in the future, I'm not going to stop. I'm just saying, like, if you can, try to check yourself before you talk shit. Like, sometimes something comes from the heart. Sometimes you feel a certain way, you want to be vocal about it. But
there's always a way to give good constructive criticism without being a hater. Like, if you truly don't like something, you can express your disinterest a different way. You can be constructive. You can offer what your perspective was on what you saw, or
I agree.
Just you viewed, it could be anything. You're right. You can apply some sort of positivity to the negative view that you had of the content you consume.
Facts. But sometimes, bro, I want to call the bitch a bitch.
Yeah.
And like, when you said it, you're like, yo, I don't know if I'll ever reach a level where like I'm. And by the way, I agree. Like, ideally, yes, dude, I am the perfect human who's never saying anything mean about anyone. But yo, if a bitch is a bitch, I'm gonna call him a bitch.
That's the thing that's important here. People, that's the thing that's important here, and I'll tell you why. The shit that we talked, or that I'll continue to speak for myself, the shit that I talked on that episode, I talked in the face of a toxic situation where I was wronged. I was wronged. And by the way, someone that I care about was wronged even worse. The only time you will ever see me caught up in shit talking is when there's a catalyst that affects me.